Man, that shit everywhere in the street, nigga. You tripping, them folks.
Yeah. Yo.
Thanks everybody for coming. I wouldn't call this just dinner with friends, but it is dinner with friends. It's a get together with us and Creative Loafing. We're in their offices right now. Nice, cool space. And everybody here, for one reason or another, is a person to watch in 2017. And we wanted to get some dialogue going between all of us. And I wanted Rohit to lead the dialogue about how we can all use our platforms to be more civically engaged, because the city of Atlanta is changing rapidly before your eyes. Some notice, some don't. And somehow, some way, we should pull together. Cool. Rohit?
I'm excited to just kind of kick off a conversation that is meant to be interactive. So the first question is, what are you most excited about for 2017? What is Atlanta's greatest opportunity for impact?
So my name is Akishka Iyengar. I run a house for changemakers, a home for changemakers. I think we're at a point where we have the opportunity to show the rest of the U.S. what respecting locals while inviting transplants and and being welcoming to the refugee community, what the coming together of all three of that looks like at a time when, you have nationalism and fear-mongering happening on a national scale.
My name is Andre Dickens. I'm the Atlanta City Councilman for Post 3 at Large. That's a citywide position. I'm also a native of Atlanta, and I also work for a nonprofit called TechBridge.
I think that the hot box of communication that from the top down to the bottom up throughout the whole city, people are not just going to have to respect each other at the table, but they're going to have to expect each other at the table. That's inclusivity to go along with what you were saying, Nikki. That is what's going to happen in 2017. Everybody's voice is going to be equal. The the person that just moved here and the person who grew here.
Do you think people feel heard in this city?
Of course not. My name is Avery Jackson.
And you're looking here.
Avery Jackson, and I am a graduating student at Morehouse College, and I'm an organizer. I organize with a collective called ATL is Ready. We birthed out of an uprising of people who were just tired of life being the same when it could be better. When you have major developments going on in every part of the city and every community is challenging them, I mean, how can they be heard? How can it be a democracy that's effective if every single major development that's over $500,000 in the city, the community doesn't ask for, or it doesn't have true engagement in the process to even approve or deny? But until we have elected officials, public officials, people who intend to do good, who recognize that you can't speak for people that you don't know or that you aren't. If you aren't somebody, you can't talk for them. And when we begin to give people the tools and the resources to articulate their own experiences and stop trying to tell their story for them, then we might get somewhere.
My name's Susanna Spisha, and I'm the founder and executive director of Reimagine ATL. And we exist to empower the next generation of storytellers.
What I'm excited about, I love collaborative groups. I love these kind of conversations. The Center for Civic Innovation is a place I know I've come in my nonprofit, Reimagine, but we go there to get more resources and to give more resources. And I think a lot of the issues with nonprofits is that we are competitive for money, for the same money, but I think one thing, if I could say this to the nonprofit community, there is a lot of money out there. It's just how we position ourselves and to not be so competitive, but to help each other. I really, really hope that this year more of this happens, more conversations and collaborations. And collaborations also mean it's sacrifice of yourself too. You can't always be the star.
My name is David Joseph Perdue, and I'm a stand-up comedian here in Atlanta, Georgia.
Do we take care of our arts here in this city? I mean, you go everywhere around the country. Atlanta's greatest export is our art, our comedy, our entertainment, our music, our culture, our films.
I think we're starting to.
Okay.
I can only speak for the comedy world. When I started 6 years ago, there was not the support that there is now. And I think now that's starting to happen, but I think it's because more people are starting to become better at what we're doing.
We all need to laugh a little bit more.
I think we need to laugh. I definitely think we need to laugh a little bit more, but also one of my goals was to have the most, not only diverse lineup of comedians, but also the most diverse audience. And something that not a lot of people are paying attention, like not a lot of people had prior to, but it was a goal of mine from the beginning to make sure that it represents Atlanta the best. You know, kind of separate the walls of like, well, this is a black area and this is white. It's like, no, when you come to my show, any and everybody that is a comedian can be there, and any and everybody that wants to hear comedy can be there.
My name is Gabriel Morley, and I'm a librarian.
You're a librarian.
Is 2017 the year of libraries in your mind, or is there an opportunity to kind of re-envision the way these central resources of information work in the city?
The opportunity's there. I don't think it's going to happen that quickly.
Why?
I mean, I think this city is probably right at the forefront of what's happening with the library because it's in such a poor position. You're not well funded like Chicago, you're not well funded like New York, you're not well funded like Los Angeles. So you're sort of at the bottom saying we don't have anywhere to go but up. How are we going to reposition ourselves? How are we going to figure out a way to thrive? And the good thing is we don't have to take a lot apart because there isn't a lot that already exists that's going very well. I mean, from your standpoint, things are going well. Circulation's up, visits are up, people are coming to the library for different reasons, which is a positive. But what you see is your regular library visitor perspective, right? Yeah. So the things that I see are far, far beyond what you're ever probably going to see from libraries. So,
different vantage point.
Right. So part of what we're trying to do, like I said earlier, is knock down those walls and give people a glimpse into what the library could be, because some of this is just about experimentation to see what the community is willing to accept and what it isn't.
My name's Faye DeMassimo, and I am the General Manager for the Renew Atlanta Bond Program and the city's T-SPLOST program.
Can you tell us a little bit about the work that you've already done and how that's going to really play out in 2017?
Sure. Well, in the Renew Atlanta Bond Program, the $250 million bond program that's already underway, our investments are across mostly in transportation, but also in public art, in the buildings that are already a part of the city's infrastructure. So we have a $900 million infrastructure backlog in the city, and this was sort of the first $250 million bite at beginning to address that. I think, though, especially with the T-SPLOST starting up in 2017, and with the amount of transportation investment that we have in the current infrastructure bond program, there's no doubt in my mind that 2017 is going to be the year of transportation, with the MARTA referendum coming forward. And I've been listening to everything that the others around the table have been talking about, and there's the conversations, there's these common threads about equity and connection and access. And I think that there's nothing more important than transportation that does that. Yeah. Transportation connects you to community facilities like libraries, it connects you to health, it connects you to education, it connects you to economic opportunity.
My name is Mike Sick, I'm an MC. I run a company called Savage Fan Productions, Savage Fan Pro.
Cool. If you could tell us what you think the greatest opportunity for 2017 is.
I think conversation is very important, so this is the catalyst of bringing a diverse group of people together to just initiate conversation just about everything. I mean, you have people from entertainment here, you have people from the government here, activists here, and I believe that it's like the gears of a machine. There's small gears, there's big gears, and this also plays into access and platforms and selflessness. Some gears can move bigger gears. One big gear can move 10 small gears. I think it's about understanding that nobody needs to reinvent the wheel. How can we all make our wheels move faster? And I think the greatest opportunity is just to have that conversation and initiate that, and going in saying, well, what can I do to make your gear move faster? And if there's something that you truly support and you believe it in your heart, either invest in it or co-sign it. And that will get it to more people, because that's what it's all about. Because if these conversations are necessary, that means they're necessary for everybody to hear, and it needs to be on the biggest platform, the biggest stage available.
My name is Josephine Figueroa, and I co-founded a Latin American artist collective called Somos Sur, and I also am a part of a group who started a Latin dance party called La Choloteca Ley de Latinx.
So we'd love to get a sense of what do you think the greatest opportunity for 2017 is?
to share my opportunities with other people so that like all the efforts that I'm being involved in are also helping uplift and empower my community, as well as maybe have everyone be inspired by the things that I'm doing and start creating their own.
Thanks everybody for being here. It was a great talk. We're gonna have some food and drink. And Rohit, just close it out.
So once again, this is a big deal. Congratulations. I think that one of the more important things you can do is not leave this conversation here around this table. An understanding of the fact that no one person is going to get a better Atlanta alone, but also that if we continue to ignore the voices that haven't been heard, then we'll have an incomplete story moving forward. So I hope 2017 will be the writing of a new chapter for this city. So cheers and congratulations, and to an amazing year ahead.
Word up.